Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. Now I've got quite a few things to update you on this live stream today. I'm going to go right through with you now, guys. Reportedly now, this is regarding Dries Mertens, the current Napoli player. I mentioned to you quite a while back because he hasn't been mentioned in the press he hasn't been mentioned in the press for quite a while, and we know he's a very good, highly experienced player indeed. I'd love him to come and experience the Premier League because he is a very good player. He's agile, he's skillful, he's good in the air. Can score loads and loads of goals, leads the lines fantastically well, and he's proven a point, at Napoli as this player. He also proven it at PSV, he also proven it at Agoff, he proved it at Utrecht, and he's just risen up the ranks fantastically well as the current player. But reports are suggesting now that the current player would reportedly be keen on making a move to the Premier League, and it did say actually before that Man United were monitoring the player, and it did say Man United had showed an interest in Dries Mertens from Napoli. This season in the Serie A, he's made 12 starts and he scored 10 goals in the process. Last season in the Serie A, he scored 28 goals in 35 appearances as well, did the player. He's very good indeed, and he made his international debut in 2011, did the player. Since making his debut in 2011, he's gone on to make over 50 appearances for Belgium as well as the current player. So he does look at highly experienced player. Could Man United make a move for him in January if he's keen on making a move to the Premier League? One thing to tell you that the player he does have a 20. I think it's a 25 million release clause because I think he's recently signed a new deal. He has a 25 million release clause with Napoli. I think this is his 5th season now in the process. He's completed for seasons with Napoli as well as the current player. But he's a very good player indeed, because we know he. He'd risen up the ranks fantastically well. He'd risen up the youth system with Anderlecht because he spent 5 seasons with Anderlecht, did the current player. He spent 5 seasons with Anderlecht where he'd risen up the ranks fantastically well. And then he went to Gent for a couple of years. He was in Gent's youth academy for a couple of years. Then he went on loan, and then he went to Agoff for about 3 seasons. For Agoff, he did very well. And across, during his 3 seasons there, he scored. He made 110 appearances and scored 31 goals across his 3 seasons there. And then he went to the likes of Utrecht. With Utrecht, he did very well. I think he was there a couple of years. With Utrecht, he scored 21 goals, I think, in 86 appearances as well. He scored 21 goals in 86 appearances, I think, with Utrecht as well, the player. Then he went to the likes of PSV for a couple of years, and with PSV, he scored 45 goals in 88 appearances as well with PSV, did the current player. So, could Man United reportedly go on and make a move for Dries Mertens in January if possible, because he said he is keen on the move to the Premier League. He does have, I think, is it 25 or 28 million release clause as well, does the current player, but he's very good. He's good at scoring goals. And there's still areas, as I said, where Manchester United need to reinvest into the squad, as we all know. And this is 5th season now in the process with Napoli as the current players. Napoli, I think, purchased him for just nearly £10 million, was it, back in 2013 as well. And he's gone on to make a massive impact as well as the current player. So we will see what happens. But he's admitted he's keen on making a move to the Premier League. Is the current player as well. So we will see what happens about that. Anyway, to update you now is giving bit more news on Marion Fellaini. Marion Fellaini now, it's saying Manchester United could lose Marion Fellaini on a free transfer next summer, because we know this is Fellaini's 5th season in the process with Manchester United. He's done fantastically well, since he's been at Old Trafford as Fellaini, because we purchased him for just over £27 million, in 2013 from Everton. And this is the season where he's made the massive impact. Obviously before he got injured, we know Fellaini's done very well for us this season. He's made a fantastic impact for the club as Marion Fellaini. He's done very well as Fellaini, but he's just recovered from injury as well. But it is saying Manchester United could leave. He could leave on a free transfer next summer. But it's reportedly saying Besiktas are interested in him, Galatasaray are interested in him, but Galatasaray are interested in him during August, but Jose Mourinho Jose Mourinho had blocked Fellaini, blocked a move for Fellaini to go to Galatasaray. So he blocked a move for Fellaini to go to Galatasaray because obviously Jose Mourinho is still a big admirer of the player, and Jose Mourinho still would like him to stay at Manchester United, but we have yet to secure him a new deal with the club. He did sign a 4-year deal when he joined in 2013. Did Marian Fellaini? He did. He did sign a 4-year deal, and I think now, he's coming to an end of his deal. But I think it did say before we had the option of putting a 1-year extension on his current contract, to keep him at the club for another 12 months. But it did say before Fellaini was keen on a long-term extension with Manchester United. So I don't know, but obviously, Man United, we could cash in for him in January, if we don't sign him a new deal, we could cash in for him in January, rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer. But as I said, Jose Mourinho doesn't want to lose the player, so this is why he's saying, he could go on a free transfer next summer, if Man United in the process don't secure him a new deal. And it did confirm they had a meeting, Jose Mourinho. They had a meeting, Jose Mourinho and Marian Fellaini, and it did regarding his future. And Jose Mourinho did say he wants Marian Fellaini to stay at the club as well. So yeah, but he's just recovered from injury as well. So I don't know. So says we could lose him on a free transfer next summer. And Fellaini's now made over 2 century appearances now since he's being in the Premier League as well. So we will see what happens about that as well. And we've got Paul Pogba. We know that's still injured as well. Paul Pogba's injured. He's been out injured for over a month. Our most central creative midfielder. You know how different that midfield looks. Without Paul Pogba there, as we're all aware of. But he's expected to return after the international break, which is very, very good news for the Newcastle game. Also, we've got Rojo, who's suffered long-term injury. He's been injured since the Anderlecht game in the Europa League. He's expected to return into action as well for the Newcastle game after the international break as well. Ibrahimovic is expected to return back in December as well. So yeah, very, very good news that we're getting players recovering from injuries as well, which is very, very good to see indeed. And then you got the press reporting the other day, we've still got Juan Mata, that's coming to an end of his deal with Manchester United. Juan Mata's coming to an end of his deal. I don't think Juan Mata has any intention of going because he did turn a big money move down to China as well, did Juan Mata. Reportedly did say in the press the other day that 12-time Champions League winners, Real Madrid, had reportedly been interested in Juan Mata as well in the current process. Because we know when he's been playing mainly this season, he's been playing on the right. He can play in the number 10, just like Mkhitaryan, can play in the number 10 for us, but reportedly Real Madrid were interested in him. He's coming to an end of his deal because we know he's had experience of playing in Spain as Juan Mata because he's done it, he did it with Real Madrid youth system, he graduated from Real Madrid's youth system, did Juan Mata in the process, and then, he went to the likes of Valencia as well in Spain, so. And with Valencia, he did well. Across 4 seasons, he made 170. He made 174 appearances for Valencia as well. And then he's got the Premier League experience now though, because he's been in the Premier League for about 6-7 years. Because with Chelsea, now he's at Manchester United. This is 4th season of process with Man U. He's made over 2 century appearances now as Juan Mata in the current process in the Premier League. And during his time with Chelsea, he won the Champions League, FA Cup with them as well, Europa League, I think. Spent about 3 seasons with Chelsea, then we purchased him for nearly £40 million under David Moyes era. But Mata has not won a Premier League medal. But if Man United are willing to sell him, we'd rather cash in for him in January rather than let him go on a free next summer. But same with Fellaini. If we have any intentions of selling him at all, we'd rather cash in for him in January rather than let him go on a free next summer. But just Jose Mourinho is reluctant and resisted to actually sell Marian Fellaini. This is why he's saying, because we haven't agreed Fellaini a new deal. We haven't agreed Mata a new deal, but we haven't agreed Fellaini a new deal. He's saying we could lose him on a free transfer in the summer. So we will see what happens about that as well in the current process. And also, we know Manchester United, could still, Jose Mourinho's still eyeing out replacements because Jose Mourinho, spent, just nearly £300 in free transfer windows. We know this is Jose Mourinho's second season, now in the process at Old Trafford. He has got a 3-year deal at Manchester United. He reportedly did say he was demanding a pay rise of about £3 million, for him to sign a new deal. But it's reportedly said in the press for the last couple of days now, it's like said, Jose Mourinho now has to sell before he can buy, because he did miss out on quite a few targets in August, as I said, such as Bale, Griezmann, Perisic and all that, and Fabinho, he went for Fabinho as well. So he's saying he needs to sell before he can buy Jose Mourinho in the Q&A process. He also said he wants more backing in the transfer market. And it's also reported out that PSG in the last couple of days have approached Jose Mourinho. And did confirm George Mendes, who has strong connection with Man United and is Mourinho's agent, has been in discussions with Paris Saint-Germain over this. And as I updated you yesterday, the Manchester United directors believe that Jose Mourinho will leave Manchester United in the summer and make the move to Paris Saint-Germain as well. Because Paris Saint-Germain, the money's there, isn't it? That's where all the money is. Because PSG invested a lot of money. They invested a lot of money in the August window. They've got structuring the deal for Mbappe. We know they purchased Neymar as well in the current process. So I don't know. He's in a 3-year deal with Man United. He's got a good pedigree. He's won everywhere he's been as Jose Mourinho. We know he's never really had a long tenure. Longest tenure he's had is 3 seasons. We know he's managed different teams as Jose Mourinho in the current process. Do you believe these rumours that are going on about him linked with PSG? But he did say he classified PSG as special, quality fantastic. And he did confirm he would not end his managerial career at Man United, but he did say he wanted to spend 15 years with Manchester United. Did Jose Mourinho. So in the press last couple of days, especially, he's been linked to PSG, and it's also saying the directors believe he will make the move to PSG in the summer as well with Jose Mourinho. But anyway, we could still see Luke Shaw go in the current process, as I said. Man United are willing to let Luke Shaw go in the January window on loan. Maybe Luke Shaw's keen on reuniting with Pochettino after they were fantastic together at Southampton. Luke Shaw and Pochettino, obviously before Pochettino went to Tottenham, sorry, should I say. And he risen up the ranks fantastically well with Southampton, Luke Shaw. But we know now, since being United, this is his 4th season of process, made his international debut in 2014 as well, did Luke Shaw. We purchased him for £29 million from Southampton, Luke Shaw, 2014. And we know he's known for injuries as Luke Shaw. And we know he's suffered from long-term injury. And we know since he's come back, he has hardly played. He's only played in the Carabao Cup against Swansea and against Burton. So Luke Shaw is frustrated with the lack of game time. He's under contract with Man U until 2019, as we all know. And we know now he's probably 4th, 5th choice left back now in Jose Mourinho, because, as I said, we've had different players, playing at left back position. Jose Mourinho give Luke Shaw criticism last season, especially. So Jose Mourinho, is going to identify replacements for Luke Shaw as well, I should presume, in the current process. So this is what I'm saying in the process. So wait there. And we know that Jose Mourinho's, identified quite a few left backs. He's been interested in Jordi Alba. Ryan Sessegnon's been mentioned. Danny Rose. I think Danny Rose. Danny Rose is still the favourable player. To actually go on and replace Luke Shaw, because Tottenham are still in search of a left back, because they know Danny Rose's future is uncertain with Tottenham, even though he's been there 10 years. But Danny Rose did say before, didn't he was willing to turn Chelsea down, and he would prefer the move to Old Trafford. Yeah, he's under contract with Tottenham to 2021. He has been there a decade now. As we all know, he's won the PFA. He criticised Tottenham for their lack of investment in the window, as we all know as well. And he also did give an interview out saying he wasn't satisfied with the wages he was receiving, but apologies had been made. He's made those century appearances now for Tottenham as well as Danny Rose. But I think he'd be perfect, replacement for Luke Shaw if Luke Shaw is to definitely leave Manchester United. And, I think, Ryan Sessegnon would be fantastic, because, Man United, Tottenham Hotspur have also been linked with him as well. Well, it was during the August window, Man United showed an interest in Ryan Sessegnon. Also, too, Tottenham showed an interest in Ryan Sessegnon as well, because Ryan Sessegnon is a very, very good player, very, very good young age prospect indeed. It did say Fulham may demand if a team like Tottenham or whatever had to go for him in January or whatever. Fulham had to demand 50, maybe Fulham had to demand £50 million for the player. I think Spurs had a £25 million bid turned down from Fulham for Ryan Sessegnon in August as well. But Tottenham were also keen on the player because Ryan Sessegnon very, very good indeed. He's been at Fulham now nearly 10 years. You know, he joined the under 9 teams he joined the under 9 teams. Did Ryan Sessegnon in 2008 for Fulham as well. Very, very good indeed. And you know, he only got put into the first team last season, and he was fantastic on his first team debut last season. I think he's made 30 odd appearances in all competitions and scored about 6-7 goals. Was it? But risen up the ranks very, very well. Good left back, as I said. Defense distribution very, very good. Attacking instinct very, very good. And you know, he made his first team debut against Leyton Orient in the EFL Cup. He made his first league debut against Leeds United, as I said. He scored his first goal against Cardiff, did Ryan Sessegnon for Fulham in the first team. And he also scored on his FA Cup debut against Cardiff as well, did Ryan Sessegnon as well in the process. We know he signed a 3-year deal back in June with Fulham as well, did Ryan Sessegnon in the current process. But risen up the ranks sublimely well, so he'd be fantastic, I think, to come and experience the Premier League. And as I said, you know, about the Kieran Turner situation, Kieran Turner would be also another fantastic player. As I mentioned, that's what that said in the press the other day. That's what it said in the press the other day, guys, didn't it? What the... About Kieran Turner, that's what it said the other day in the press, that Man United and Tottenham were reportedly interested. It did say Man United were actually interested in Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele from Celtic. It did say that both duos, you know, could cost up to £50 million, but they are good, bright prospects, both the players. It did say Tottenham were interested in Kieran Turner. It did say Man United were interested in Kieran Turner, but it did say quite a few teams were actually interested in Kieran Turner and Moussa Dembele, but we know Kieran Turner very, very good. He made his international debut in 2016. He's made 8 senior appearances for Scotland. You know, he's just recently signed a 6-year deal with Celtic. Very, very good though, and he's been at Celtic since he was 7-year-old because he's risen up the youth system very, very well. He joined Celtic as a 7-year-old, did Kieran Turner. He made his competitive senior debut in April 2015. During 2015-16, he had a fantastic breakout season. You know, played in over 30 games, and you know, in 2016-17, you know, he was named captain of Celtic as well as Kieran Turner. But a bright, fantastic young age prospect, as I said. So he'd be fantastic with Kieran Turner as a replacement for Luke Shaw. Tottenham team was a good replacement for Danny Rose in their eyes. And then you've got the likes of Moussa Dembele, you know, who'd be fantastic as well. I do like Moussa Dembele, a very, very good player indeed. He's Moussa Dembele because, you know, he has got that experience of playing in the Premier League as Moussa Dembele because he did it during his time with Fulham. Fulham a good 3 or 4 years as well, as we all know. But for Celtic so far, Moussa Dembele, he scored his 32 goals last season for Celtic in all competitions. He's got a deal with, he's on the contract with them to 2020. He won the domestic treble with them last season. He scored back-to-back hat-tricks in February 2017 with them. He also scored a hat-trick against Rangers as well in his first derby match. Moussa Dembele's as well. But Fulham, he was very, very good. That's where he risen up the ranks. He joined them in 2012 at just the age of 17, was it? Become a regular for the under-18s team, and in his first season there won the Premier Academy League, and then made his senior debut with Fulham in 2013, and then went on till 2016 with Fulham. He scored 19 goals in 64 competitive matches, so he's one of the brightest prospects in Europe since he's been at Celtic. I think this is his second season of the process. He has been absolutely sublime as well. So yeah, and we've also, as reported you in the last couple of days, what's been going on in the press is about Mesut Ozil and all that, because reportedly now it did say It did reportedly say about Musi term Ozil that reportedly Arsenal are willing to offload Ozil for around about £30 million. But it did say in the press that Ozil is still 100% focused on Arsenal. He said he's still 100% an Arsenal player. We know this is Ozil's fifth season in the process. But he did say still focused on Arsenal. He did say for him to possibly sign a new deal with Arsenal, it did say in the press the other day, he was demanding that he wanted to wear Jack Wilshere's number 10 shirt. Did Musi term Ozil in the current process? Because we know he's been linked with Man United in the last 3 or 4 weeks now, because he reportedly told his teammates that he does want to join Manchester United. Does Musi term Ozil in the current process? As I said, very, very good. Can create chances, can provide assists as well. Also was in Bundesliga for 5 years. It did confirm the other week that the contract talks have stalled between Arsenal player and his representatives, and Arsenal in the process nowhere near of securing Ozil a new deal, because he does come a free transfer next summer because he's coming to the end of his deal. But as I said, Arsenal would rather cash in for him rather than let him go on a free next summer. But he has been heavily linked with a move to Man United as Musi Ozil in the current process, and Jose Mourinho classifies him as a fantastic number 10, because also he was demanding a higher wage increase from Arsenal as well, and also was fantastic with Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid. During his 3 seasons with Real Madrid, Ozil and Mourinho, were fantastic together. So Jose Mourinho, maybe looking to reunite with Musi to Ozil in the current process. It's saying Arsenal willing to offload him for £30 million. He's now made over century appearances now for Arsenal, as we all know, as Musi term Ozil, and it's Arsenal's second most expensive signing. Arsenal paid £42.5 million for him from Real Madrid in 2013. The current World Cup winner as well. But I think he'd been a lot to Manchester United. Some United fans like to see him come. Some United fans wouldn't like to see Ozil come. So yeah, we'll see what happens about that. And they've got the likes of Jack Wilshere, Arsenal, that could still go. It did say he's set to leave Arsenal in January's Jack Wilshere, because Arsenal in the process of not yet secured Jack Wilshere a new deal with Arsenal Football Club yet. He's not yet signed a new deal, Jack Wilshere. I think Arsenal are prepared to discuss. I think Arsenal are prepared to possibly discuss with Jack Wilshere over a new deal, over securing Jack Wilshere a new deal with the club, because he's coming to an end of his deal as well. But he did say he's set to leave in January, Jack Wilshere, because he's been at Arsenal now 16 years, 17 years, I think it's something like that, because he's visited up the youth system. We know he's been on loan deals at like Bournemouth, where he made 27 appearances last season. We know he's been on loan at Bolton, as well as Jack Wilshere in the current process. But as I said, he joined Arsenal youth system in October 2001. He'd been at Luton just before that, and he did very, very well. He became Arsenal's youngest league debut in 2008 when he made his debut for the first team against Blackburn, as we all know, at just the age of 16. Become the youngest player to play in a European competition as well for Arsenal, and that was just the age of 16 as well. And in the FA Youth Cup did very, very well. Scored in the final against Liverpool, scored a couple of goals in the semi-final as well, and also made his senior debut for England against Hungary as well. Did Jack Wilshere? Jack Wilshere, his combinations play is good. His link-up play is very, very good. I think his versatility is very, very good, as well as Jack Wilshere's. But he could be set to leave in January as well. And as I said, Arsenal have got Alexis Sanchez. He's definitely coming to an end of his deal. As we all know, is Alexis Sanchez. Looks like he's definitely going to leave Arsenal Football Club. As we all know, in the current process, he's going to definitely leave Arsenal Football Club. Is Alexis Sanchez, because he's refusing to sign a new deal with Arsenal. He's refused to sign a new deal. Reportedly was demanding higher wages from Arsenal. But he was demanding about 400,000 a week, was it, from Arsenal? He also Paris Saint-Germain approached the player. City is still emerging as front runners to go on and get him. Everton have approached the player, but as I said, Everton put 30. He said Everton were willing to put £30 million in for him. But as I said, Everton are struggling considering the amount of money they spent in August. Sanchez was demanded he wanted Champions League football. With Everton, he's not going to have this. He's not going to win silverware with Everton. So there's a lot of other teams out there who could go on to elevate to a high level and go on and win trophies, such as City can do this. Maybe Paris Saint-Germain can do this. Considering the amount of money they spent in August. Even Real Madrid, Real Madrid, had been interested. Manchester United a lot of teams have been interested in him. So I think, you know, City is still emerging as front runners to go on and get him. City could just get him for 20-30 million pound in January, or they're keen on waiting until next summer to go get him on a free transfer. Because latest that are also Bayern Munich have been interested. Also latest I've heard that Wenger is convinced. Sanchez will see out his deal, and he will stay at Arsenal until he runs out of his contract next summer. As well, Alexis Sanchez in the current process as well. But as I said, he's very good. You know, he's won 3 FA Cups 4 seasons with Arsenal. Arsenal purchased him £35 million with Barcelona. So this is his 4th season in the process. We know he's won honours with the likes of River Plate, Cola. You know, he made his international debut in 2006. And with Barcelona, were very good. In his last season with Barcelona, he scored 21 goals for them as well. Did Alexis Sanchez, but he can play in numerous positions. I think he can play in the front line, a wing, attacking mid as well. So his versatility is very good, distinctive in his play. I like him at Manchester United, to be honest. Alexis Sanchez, but as I said, Arsenal could have cashed 50-60 million pound in for him. From Manchester City, but obviously Arsenal couldn't find that replacement, so could still leave in January. Maybe she could still leave on a free transfer next summer, but as I said, Arsenal would rather cash in rather than let him go on a free next summer as well. And he was fantastic with Pep Guardiola at Barcelona as well with Sanchez, so Pep Guardiola is maybe keen on reuniting with the current player as well, because obviously, yeah, so we'll see. And as I also did update you yesterday, guys, on a bit of transfer rumours about Chelsea, didn't I? Give you a bit of an update on Chelsea's transfer rumours, because obviously, you know, Conte, the Chelsea manager, won the Premier League in his 1st season with Chelsea, because clearly, you know, he wasn't satisfied with Chelsea's transfer window, because, you know, he did get quite a few players in. You know, he got Morata in 70 million, you know, he got Bakayoko in, he got Rudiger in that in, and Danny Drinkwater from Leicester, but he's still looking to reinvest into his squad. He's still looking to add a bit more depth in there and character, you know. Is Conte, because he wasn't satisfied with Chelsea's investment in the transfer window. So basically, Conte is still looking for someone, a strong partnership with Alvaro Morata. So he's still looking for someone, you know, to partner up with Alvaro Morata, and he's still basically, you know, maybe looking for another midfielder. And, you know, we know Chelsea was strongly linked with Alex Sandro. We know Chelsea were linked with Alex Sandro during the August window, but Chelsea had 2 bids rejected from Juventus. Sandro's a good fullback. Also, Chelsea went for Llorente, didn't get him. Chelsea showed an interest in Vardy, as I said. So they missed out on quite a few targets to Chelsea, but reportedly Chelsea could consider making January moves for Christian Benteke and Ross Barkley as well. But Ross Barkley, Tottenham have reportedly been interested in Ross Barkley as well. But as I said, Christian Benteke is injured. I think he's been injured from Palace since September as the player. But Chelsea may think he'd be a fantastic player, you know, to partner up with Alvaro Morata, because they think they're lacking in that forward line, Chelsea. And they've also targeted Ross Barkley, so Chelsea could make moves to Barkley and Christian Benteke. But Ross Barkley, I mentioned to you yesterday, very good player indeed. He's been at Everton since he was 11 years old, so he has been at Everton now over a decade as Ross Barkley. But reportedly, Chelsea had agreed a fee with Everton for Ross Barkley. I think he was around about 35 million. But over the process, he did actually do a medical right near the end. I think he did a medical Barkley, but in the process, Barkley remained at Everton and he pulled himself out of the move to Chelsea, so it never happened. I think Everton tried securing him a new contract in the August window, but Barkley had refused this, and we know Barkley hasn't featured this season because he's currently injured, and as we all know, Everton would rather cash in for him in January rather than let him go on a free next summer, because obviously we know Barkley is a free transfer next summer if Everton don't cash in for him in January, but Chelsea may make the move for him in January. But as I said about Ross Barkley, he's been an Everton player since he was 11 years old, is Ross Barkley, and yeah, but he's been on loan spells at likes of Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds United as well as Ross Barkley, but spent most of his career Everton, as we all said. He made his international debut his full international debut in 2013 as well. Played for England in the 2014 FIFA World Cup as well, and for Everton, we know he made his debut for Everton against Queen's Park Rangers, scored his first goal against Norwich, and scored his first FA Cup goal against Queen's Park Rangers as well. Did Ross Barkley, and he's made 150 appearances for Everton, scored 21 goals, and very, very good last season. He created a lot of clinical chances, the majority of the players in the Premier League. But reportedly, it did say that Chelsea, a fee had been agreed, but he pulled his, and he did have a medical, did Barkley, but reportedly he pulled himself out of the move, did Bag, so he never made a move. And as I said, we know that he's still currently injured at the moment, is Ross Barkley as well, so he's out of action, is Ross Barkley, and maybe Ross Barkley wants a new challenge, you know, because maybe wants to win trophies, he wants to elevate to a high level, play amongst better players, and with Everton, he's not going to be doing this, and I think, you know, he's had a fantastic time at Everton, you know, he's been at Everton now over a decade, as I said, you know, he's been there since he was 11 years old as a Ross Barkley, you know, in the current process, but as I said, you know, he turned down an Everton contract in the August window as well. So, anyway, guys, that's the main things to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. We've got more things to update you later on. Subscribe to the channel as always, and take it easy, guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye.